All right, so let me guess. You're in a situation right now. Maybe you're in college. Maybe you're dealing with some girls who are flaking on you, which means that maybe you get their number and they don't respond, or maybe you try to set up a date, they don't respond. Maybe even you go on a date with them and you've been hanging out with them, you've been hooking up with them, and then all of a sudden they disappear. And you even get to the point maybe where you're having sex with them and then you never hear from them again. Well, I'm going to be explaining in this video why this is happening and how to fix it. And here's the deal. This might be happening a lot in college because you're dealing with some immature girls who don't know how to deal with rejecting you or telling you what's going on, but this still occurs in your, adult years, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and up, where you're dealing with women who are going to be flaking on you, and it's going to basically kill your control over the whole situation. So let's get into this right now. So this is happening mainly because you are not in control over the situation, and you're basically letting her run the show. You, as the man, need to take control and take it back. And here's the thing. She wants you to, okay? So you might be thinking, like, I don't understand, like, how is taking control going to make sure she doesn't flake? Well, this is only one part of the equation. We have another part of the equation that has to do with creating an experience that she actually enjoys. And this can be also related to the idea of attraction, right? So the reason why women flake, the reason why, they might have sex with you and you never hear from them again is fairly simple, right? Common sense. They don't contact you again. They don't want to see you again because they didn't have a good experience with you. And all this is also combined with the fact that you are probably not in control of the situation and you're letting her lead. It's not going to be a sexy experience for her. It's not going to allow her to drop into her more femininity if she has to be the one to take control. Okay, so let me just kind of sum this all up and show you what it should look like from beginning to end in terms of meeting a woman all the way through the sexual experience. Okay, so let's go through the whole process, starting with the meet. How are you going to remain in control of the whole situation, but also how are you going to make it so it's interesting? All right, so step one is the meet. You need to go over to her, right? So it's your job to go over to her because you're the one who sees her. You're the one who's going to make the choice. You're the one who's making all of the decisions from the get-go. This is attractive. This is masculine. This makes you the one who is the dominating one. Step number two. Step number two is you are the one who is creating tension to get her attracted. You're the one who's also flirting. Hopefully she's flirting back and having fun with you. And also, you're having fun. This is the key to attraction and an interaction. Having fun. If you're not having fun, she's not having fun. So that's something you need to prioritize when you're in the interaction to make it interesting. Remember, you're making an interesting experience for her, an experience that's interesting for her, for you, so she's gonna wanna come back and she's not gonna wanna flake when you finally get her phone number. Step three, you are going to directly ask, probably via text, to see her again. So what this means is that you are gonna be the one to ask her out on a date, meetup, whatever it is, and you are the one who's going to be in control of the whole thing because you're the one who's doing it, right? You're the one who's doing this, and also you are the one who's being very direct in terms of, okay, here's what's going on. You and me, we're going to be hanging out soon. What are you up to this week? When are you free? I'm going to take you out. We're going to do something fun, right? Again, this is you in control here. That's the whole thing. This is how you're going to make sure that you're leading the interaction so she knows what's going on. And if you were successful in step two here, well, then that means that you are going to be able to prevent the flaking because she's going to be interested because you had a good experience. Remember that when she has a good experience, she's going to want to have it again and she's not going to have a reason to flake. We went over that earlier. Eventually, if all goes well, then things are going to inevitably lead to sex, right?
So sex is something that's going to happen. And if you don't want her to disappear after sex, if you want her to come back, if you want to remain in control here, then what you have to do is make sure that your focus is on her pleasure. Now let me explain, because that's going to sound kind of lame to you, because you're probably thinking, well, what about me? I mean, isn't sex supposed to be fun for me? It will be fun for you. The whole idea here is if you give, then you get reciprocity. If you make sure that she has a pleasurable experience, she's going to want to make sure you have a pleasurable experience. Of course, there's going to be that one girl out of 10 that does not do this for you, and then of course you don't have to ever see her again because she's selfish and not someone you want to see. But if you do this and you do it successfully, then what's going to happen is she's going to want to come back for more. So make sure that when you guys are getting sexual, you're focusing on her pleasure and you're not being selfish, because then she's going to have a good time and she'll also, like I said, reciprocate and make sure you're having a good time as well.
So again, the idea here and the formula that I'm trying to give you is you being in control plus you making a awesome experience for a woman, whether or not you're in college or when you're older, and you can almost guarantee that she's not going to flake and that you are going to be the one who's going to be leading the interaction and doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Because you've established the control from the very beginning that you're going to be the one who's doing it, which you need to anyways, because that's going to be you being more masculine and her being attracted to those masculine traits. And then throwing it all together, she is going to want to see you pretty much whenever you want. I know this sounds kind of wild, like how is this possible and how is it that simple? Well, it's simply stated, but of course the practice of it is kind of difficult. You're going to have to go out, you're going to have to practice what this is going to be like to be the decision maker, to be the one who's going to go after what he wants and break through that fear of approaching the women that you want to talk to. If you want help with this, I have an amazing resource. Is my book Magnetic, which is available right now on Amazon on either paperback, Kindle, or audiobook. And this goes through all the steps that you need to know in order to start going out approaching women and making this possible for you. In fact, there's actually a notes section towards the end of the book where you can write down notes and kind of journal in your approaches as you go out and do them, which again is taught to you how to do it in this book. And also, I believe it's in chapter 2, we talk about how this looks in terms of being in control of all situations from beginning to end. I know I touched upon it today in the video, but it goes into more detail in the book. So check that out. I'll put a link down below for the book on Amazon, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll talk to you in the comments.